Mystics Corner Game Day. I'm Frank Hanrahan, and welcome to WashingtonMystics.com, where the Mystics finally return home to face the Los Angeles Sparks this weekend. Before we get to the Sparks, let's take a quick look back at a tough loss at the Minnesota Lynx, 96-94 in overtime. Had a chance to catch up with the head coach of the Mystics, Julie Plank.
You guys, going into the fourth quarter, were up by 9 points, but defensively, you guys struggled to contain Renee Montgomery. Tell us about her explosion in that quarter and what you guys could have done better to get finish a little stronger in the fourth quarter.
Well, you know, I think Renee, she really did. She played well in that fourth quarter, took over. I was a little bit disappointed in our defense. I felt we didn't really react to what they were doing, kept running the same play over and over again, and really hurt us, and gave up some really easy baskets down the stretch.
You guys finished 1-3 in a 4-game road trip. Give us some positive and negative things that you felt happened on this road trip.
Well, you know, one positive, I think, you know, we beat San Antonio. We're the only team that beat them at home. They're a great team. We're in the WNBA finals last year and had a great win with them. We've had great wins on the road at Detroit, at Connecticut. So I think we do play well on the road. Struggle a little bit in these 3 games with turnovers as well as free throws missed. You know, I'm looking forward to getting back here and playing at home and getting some more practice time, extra court time to work on shooting, work on free throws, and to sharpen up our defense.
Coach Julie Plank of the Washington Mystics, a very tough loss at Minnesota in overtime, 96-94. And one of the bright spots all season long for the Mystics was last year's #1 pick out of the University of Maryland, Crystal Langhorne, who has been steady Eddie as she goes, had another solid performance against Minnesota, and our Mystics Corner Game Day crew had a chance to catch up with Crystal Langhorne.
Well, I think as a team we just had a really rough stretch of games, but you know, we made some mistakes, but I really think we're going to learn from it, and now we're going to have 6 games home, and just coming back to our fans I think is really going to give us a boost.
Talk a little bit about the 4-game road trip. What were some positives during the road trip, and what were some negatives the team needs to really work on?
Some of the positives, I mean, we were up a lot on the road. I mean, we just didn't pull out games, and I think that's really what we need to focus on, closing out games and just taking care of business on the road, because if you want to be a championship-type team, that's what you have to do. You have to run on the road.
Only 10 games into the season, but you've got to think that Crystal Langhorne of the Mystics is a candidate for the 6th Woman of the Year award. Still a long way to go, but so far so good for the second-year pro out of the University of Maryland. When we come back here on Mystics Corner Game Day, we'll take a look at the Los Angeles Sparks. They're coming to town this weekend. We'll preview that game. That's coming your way next here on WashingtonMystics.com.
Natural gas is a cleaner burning fuel, yet a lot of natural gas has impurities like CO2 in it. Controlled freeze zone is a new technology being developed by ExxonMobil to remove the CO2 from the natural gas so we can safely store it where it won't get into the atmosphere. ExxonMobil is spending more than $100 million to build a plant that will demonstrate this process. I'm very optimistic about it because this technology could be used to reduce greenhouse gas emissions significantly.
Los Angeles Sparks come to town this weekend to face your Washington Mystics. 7 o'clock start, and there are a few tickets left, so get online and order them up right now because you're going to get to see Candace Parker. She came here last year, impressed, Rookie of the Year in the WNBA, and she is back. This will be her 3rd game back after she gave birth recently, so congrats to Candace and her husband Sheldon Williams. But the Mystics, what can they do to stop her and the Los Angeles Sparks, who now have Tina Thompson on their team? Betty Lennox is there. Lisa Leslie won't be playing. She's still out with a knee injury. But the Los Angeles Sparks are a team that is in not desperation mode just quite yet, but they're off to a slow start. The Mystics are 5-5. So what are the keys to beating the Los Angeles Sparks? We recently caught up with the Mystics assistant, Luby Lakonzak, to preview the LA Sparks.
The Sparks are a great team. Obviously, everyone knows about their great stars. Parker is back from maternity leave, and obviously that makes it a very different team, and the dynamics that she brings to the team, like being last year's MVP and also Rookie of the Year. So we've got to handle their athleticism. We've got to handle their high-low game. They do love to do that a lot. With Parker coming back, I anticipate that that will be a big part of their game. Thompson, again, gives them an unbelievable low-court presence. And what it's going to take from us is 40 minutes of intense defense, 40 minutes of taking away what they like to do best, and most importantly, we need our fans to get behind us and push us to that win.
Mystics assistant coach Shalubi Lakonzak previewing the Los Angeles Sparks. And by the way, Saturday night is Go Green Night at Verizon Center, so you're encouraged actually to bring your old denim jeans or those old washed 501 jeans and get them recycled this week. And I know you got them, so bring them on out to Verizon Center, and they'll do good with that and recycle it on Go Green Night with the Mystics and the WNBA. Coming up next here on Mystics Corner Game Day, 10 questions with the head coach of the Mystics, Julie Plank. You don't want to miss it. Come back with us here on WashingtonMystics.com.
The Mystics Sibley Breast Health Awareness Game is Sunday, August 30th versus Minnesota. We'll be hosting our second annual post-game auction. All proceeds will benefit the Sullivan Center for Breast Health. Remember to think pink.
Hi, I'm Julie Plank, head coach of the Washington Mystics, and these are answers to your top 10 questions. Basketball coaches respect and like Larry Brown, an NBA coach who had the opportunity to work with in the 2000 Olympics. Tara Vanderveer, who I've coached with, and a great Hall of Fame coach in women's basketball, as well as Jim Tressel, a football coach at Ohio State. Just great guy, hard worker, great program. I've enjoyed both, had great experiences. Had success at both levels. I'm really enjoying my position here in DC as a head coach. I really believed that I wanted to pursue coaching after I got done playing at Ohio State. Learned a lot there and wanted to be able to teach the game to others. Favorite Michael Jackson song? I would have to say Pretty Young Thing. Besides basketball, my other favorite sport is college football by far. Places in DC that I enjoy to visit: my apartment, the Verizon Center, and the local restaurants nearby. 4 or 5 players I think changed women's basketball. Probably Lisa Leslie, center. On top of her game, very versatile. Candace Parker, obviously. Diane Taurasi at the point guard position, excellent player. I'd have to say Elena Beard. I'm hoping that she changes the game a lot, especially for the Mystics. Pre-game rituals, shoot around, lunch, workout, film. Jay-Z, Soulja Boy, or Louis Armstrong? I'm gonna have to go with What a Wonderful World, Louis Armstrong. Probably none of the above. On my computer, texting, or in front of a DVD.
All right, Mystics and the Sparks Saturday night at Verizon Center. That's a 7 o'clock tip. Again, tickets are still available on Go Green Night. I want to thank all the folks who put the show together. We'll see you back here next week on WashingtonMystics.com.
And just enjoy yourself. Groove. Let the madness in the music.